company's called American Eagle Gold. We're not a clothing company. We're an exploration company. We sell dreams, not jeans. So just so you guys remember it. Forward-looking statement. I got a little story, and no one's probably said a story about a forward-looking statement, but when I first got this property from my uncle, and we said no to it a couple times, and he made me look at it, and he said, Tony, if the prices weren't 60 cents a pound for copper and $400 an ounce for gold, this would be a hole in the ground. I said, Gary, I've heard of forward-looking statements. That's a backwards-looking statement. So that's why we got the property. Had a lot of potential, and we have a lot more potential right now, more than ever. So near surface, gold, copper, big tonnage. We have two major companies on our registry in Teck and South 32 that we're currently leveraging. Potential for a multi-billion ton ore body someday, forward-looking statements. We're 85 kilometers from Smithers. I say this, in the summer you can drive a bike right onto our property, and that's a big difference. Because for mines, it's all about de-risking, it's all about the economy. You're not just building a mine for no reason, it's about paying back the initial capital. And the closer you are to infrastructure and the cheaper it is to build, the more economic that mine is. And being that close to a town that has a brewery, a sushi restaurant, really does make a difference in the end of things. We have favorable topography, gentle hills, low elevation. And the great thing about us, we don't need funding for 2025, we don't need funding for 2026, and probably not 2027. So we have one less downwards pressure on our company. We don't have to go to the street for equity, because we're fully funded with nearly $40 million in our bank. So a quick oral history of our company. That's my late uncle there, Gary. He forced us to get this property. He loved it. He said it was the second best geophysical target he's seen outside of Grasberg. So we got it, and just around then, our stock started falling. We went to about 3 cents, but like a good boxer, we got off the mat. We got back up. We raised a little bit of capital, and we drilled. And we rose like a phoenix out of the ashes. And we went from about $1.5 million market cap. We got a little bit bigger. Teck could have took a chance on us. We drilled more. We hit again. We drilled more. South 32 came in with a big investment. I believe it closed in December. And we went from about $2 million market cap to $140 million market cap in around 2 years. So I tell people, watch our track record. We have a lot of capital, and we can do this again. But look, it's a junior mining market. It's like a roller coaster, ups and downs, ups and downs. But forget about what's happened in the last month. Look at what's happened in the last year. We're still up 25%. We raised $37.5 million with minimal dilution. All of our raises had no warrants attached to it. And we have a second great major on our registry. So that's a big plus. It's a big difference between us and a lot of the other companies out there. Now, we have big macro challenges out there. I say this is a TikTok world. Why would anybody in their right mind invest in junior mining? Super risky, but the reason why they do it, it's a bit of a drug, but they want that 5x return overnight. But if they don't get it, they're going to sell you off. And a lot of people that invest in this business, they don't understand geology. So our results that just came out, people see it and they said, I got a lot of calls, those look like great results, why is it down? So what I'm trying to say is a lot of these geologists that look at it and like good results, they know mining and they don't understand why our stock's going down. Put yourself in the shoes of the average investor. They see red on the screen, they sell, it creates contagion. So people are looking for a quick gain. It's a TikTok world, they want things right away. Ozempic, people want to lose weight without working out. Bitcoin, they're expecting 5x returns in a year. So that's what we're kind of fighting against. But the fact we don't have to do an equity raise, we have $40 million, sets us apart from pretty much everyone else. So we had 3 years of drilling so far. We drilled 31,000 meters. 2022, we drilled 7,000 meters. That's why Teck came in. We made 2 discoveries, one in the south, high-grade copper and gold zone, one in the north, higher-grade copper zone. It gave us a little bit of extra scratch to have a full drill program in 2023. In 2023, we didn't just do one, we didn't do 2, we did 3 separate raises with Teck. And I was talking about amateur investors. They look for newsletter writers. They look for the names like Eric Sprott. You know who the best names are? They're the mining companies that spend 6 months in your data room and give it that credibility. So it gave us that boost in our stock price, and we were allowed to drill. So we drilled about 8,000 meters in 2023. And at the end of the season, right before I did this conference, we came out with a Chilean hole in BC. So our stock was able to go from 26 cents in January, hit around 80 cents in the summer. So the 2024 program, we drilled more holes than we drilled in the previous 3 years combined. We connected the north to the south. We expanded that copper gold zone that's going to pay back the capital, we hope, if this is a mine someday. And we hit some really great holes in the north where people hadn't drilled before. So that was a new discovery for us. That's what just came out the other day. And that northern hole, look, it's not a booming hole by any account, but it's solid copper all the way throughout. It's the first time anyone drilled in that area. It's about 500 meters of 0.45% copper equivalent. 0.3 of that is pure copper, and it's a new hole. And what I want to tell investors is that we have 2 holes into this area. We only have 2 pierce points. The very first thing we're going to do in 2025 is get that 3rd pierce point so we can figure out where this is going. It's beautiful, Corey, if you look at it right there. We got hundreds of meters of disseminated bornite. There's chalcocite in there. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's going to be at Roundup on Wednesday and Thursday if you want to go take a gander. So we have 3 distinct targets on our property. We have the north zone, higher grade tenor. We have the south zone, higher grade gold than copper. And then we have a deep zone. We're trying to track the source of it. I don't think you guys are surprised. I'm not a geologist, but I know it doesn't rain copper, and it's coming from somewhere. So by golly, we're going to find it. And we're talking about big step outs here. People always want to know what's next. Why aren't you doing those 1,000, 1,500 meter step outs? It's all about cost to capital. And our roadmap so far, look at our stock price, look at our treasury, it's worked so far. But we're going to take big swings. Now that we have a lower cost of capital, we got that $40 million. And if you see the success we've had in the last 3 years, we've only drilled about 20% of our property. So now we're going to go around that. And I know geologists don't like it, but it's called a blue sky donut. So we're going to drill all the way around it. We're going to hit 1,500 meters out. We can see if we can get this thing to the potential to be 2 or 3 billion tons. Because in the end, for us, it's about getting us to a sale in about 18 to 24 months. We don't want to be around for 24 years doing the same thing. So we want to de-risk it, dilute as little as possible, and get to a liquidity event. I'm not a mine builder. I worked for a mine building company for years, and it was very hard for them to build mines. We're explorers. So talking about the 2025 program, I said in 2024, we drilled just as many drill holes as we drilled in 2022 and 2023 combined. Guess what we're going to do in 2025? We're going to drill just as many drill holes that we drilled the previous 3 years combined. We're going to do over 30,000 meters of drilling. We're going to have 3 rigs, and we're going to have at least a $15 million budget. And that blue, the green, and the red are the areas we're going to focus. We're going to build out that north zone. We're going to step around that donut, show a giant scale, and we're going to build out that copper gold zone that I believe wraps around that porphyry stock, that big salmon thing in the middle. So we got a lot of catalysts ahead. So one of the issues with this property, why a lot of people get a little confused, it doesn't have a great analogous to another property globally. But who knows, it might look like something that someone's seen in Siberia, something someone's seen in Papua New Guinea. And the more rocks that people have seen, the better they can compare it to something. And that's why we're bringing 2 world-renowned geologists, Dr. Alan Wilson, this will be his 3rd year on our property, and Dr. Steve Garwin, who actually knew my uncle, told me a couple great stories. So they're coming up in March, and hopefully they uncover something and help us find the best places to drill those holes. So we're very happy for them to be part of our team now. Now, corporate analogous companies, don't laugh, but let me land this plane here. So GT Gold, first of all, not only did Charlie Gregg run this company, but GT Gold, if you look at their stock price, people only remember where it ended up going, but it went from 30 cents to $2, 30 cents to $2. So I want to remind people there's a lot of roller coasters for other successful companies as well. Filo Mining, when did they make their big discovery hole? What hole was it? Come on. 41. How many holes have we had? 38. So we still have time. Now, if you look at Great Bear Resources, we want to follow that same blueprint. We want to get a point to sale. We don't want to have to do a resource. What's a resource for? To tell you how small you are. We're big. Everywhere we drill keeps on expanding. So we're following that roadmap. So those are the 3 companies I want to kind of compare myself to. Now, we have a really talented team. One thing I'm really proud of is our First Nations work. Half our team at site are from the Lake Babi Nation. They're great people. And right here is Charlie Gregg, part of GT Gold, our lead technical advisor. And the CEO.ca world can get really cruel, but they can really be great sometime. And when we were going through our stock run, that was one of the pictures that we found on the CEO.ca website. So we have a chat online, we have that picture. So that's Charlie Gregg right there. And he was a gangster for a couple months, at least to the retail investors. So a really quick overview, $37 million in the bank, trading around 50 cents, 2 great companies on our registry that we're going to leverage their technical talents. And really big takeaways here. We got cash. We're in BC. Find me another BC porphyry project that's 100% owned that you can actually drive to. And we have 2 great companies that are part of us. And what we're going to do this year are 3 things. We're going to drill, we're going to drill, and we're going to drill. Thank you very much.